guys, welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here. Well, tonight we are going to talk about the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. And for those of you who are concerned, I am not doing any spoilers in this particular video. So if you are trying to save some of the magic, no worries, this video will be perfect for you. But as most of you guys know, I just got off the Star Cruiser like, I don't know, 2 days ago. So I wanted to do a video of like my top 15 things that I kind of noticed or realized while being on the Star Cruiser that might help you guys out. Those of you who are already booked and are planning and are trying to think about the little nooks and crannies, the little things to make your experience even that much better. Again, I am going to try to remain spoiler free. For those of you who don't know, I already put out a planning tips and tricks video that talks about kind of costuming and Batuu and other little areas that are good in terms of planning. So make sure you guys check out this video. These are more or less the things I kind of wish I knew, or a lot of other passengers wish they knew. So I'm kind of like jotted it all down and I'm going to try to put it all in one video. Those of you who are looking for actual Star Cruiser footage, that will be coming soon. I did indeed film all 3 days. So I will indeed put out videos, again, some with spoilers, some without. I may do videos of purely just spoilers for those of you who really want to see what things like, you know, lightsaber training and the bridge ops, those kind of missions, what those were really like. Those will be in other videos. But again, these are kind of just things that people didn't know, wish they knew, or I didn't even know. So let's get into it. So in no particular order, these are kind of like 15 things that might help you prepare better and plan better when headed on the Galactic Star Cruiser. Again, this is only a 2-night experience. And don't misunderstand me, it's 2 nights. It is not 2 full days. It is actually slightly less than 2 full days. So make sure you know, like I said, stay tuned for my vlog footage because you will see exactly what we can accomplish in those 2 nights. But let's get into it. Okay, so first thing is gift shops. So there are 2 gift shops kind of aboard the Star Cruiser. One is actually inside the hotel, which is pretty much opened all day long into like 11 o'clock at night. Now, the thing you might not know is that the 2 different gift shops have completely different merchandise. So the gift shop aboard the ship is gonna have your specific Star Cruiser fancier items, like your costume pieces. For those people who didn't prepare in a costume, you'll find costume pieces on that gift shop. This is where you're gonna get the special lightsaber, the special droid, and other kind of fancier items will be in this gift shop. But note, on day 3, the day we actually leave, the day they essentially kick you out, it is not open. So if you were waiting until the bitter end, like somebody, it's not open. I was debating over and over again about getting that lightsaber. I was kind of worried about not having enough storage in my suitcase. Finally, on day 3, I woke up and I thought, what the heck, I'm just getting the dang thing. Nope, store's closed. So just know that in advance. Now, the second gift shop is the gift shop that you exit. So as soon as you're done with the Star Cruiser, you've had your breakfast, they kick you out, there is a tiny little gift shop at the exit, not on the ship. And it's filled with t-shirts and pins and a hat and kind of your basic Disney souvenirs, but it's all Galactic Star Cruiser themed. I'm just gonna show you one of the t-shirts. Not a huge spoiler here, but I thought it was kind of cool. So for people who are looking for everyday kind of souvenirs, like a t-shirt to wear in the theme park, that is the gift shop you wanna go to. The gift shop inside the ship is fancier, costumey like pieces. Now, the gift shop when you exit closes promptly at 10. So if you were like me and you were trying to wait till the bitter end to get off the ship, you know, maximize all that experience, you want to give yourself at least 15 to 20 minutes before 10 o'clock so that you can at least check out that gift shop. Again, t-shirts, pins, kind of your everyday souvenirs, fancier items are aboard the ship. We're going to move on. Next tip is a watch. So you spend a good portion of your time on your phone on what they're calling the data pad. You use your phone the entire time. You are searching for missions, you are communicating with characters, you are doing all sorts of crazy stuff on your phone. However, the app that you have to use, the Disney Play app, which you are on 24/7 essentially, doesn't show a time. So if you have a mission with a specific character, again, trying not to give any spoilers, you are gonna miss that mission if you don't know the time. So you have to constantly go in and out of the app to find the time on your phone. Or you could just prepare and wear a watch. So that is my tip, pack a watch. Luckily, my kids already wear watches. I already wear a smartwatch, so it wasn't an issue for my family, but it was something I noticed. It was, you know, constantly, okay, I have to meet this person at 6 o'clock. What time is it? What time is it? If I have to keep going in and out of the app, that would be frustrating. So yes, pack a watch. Third tip, you can board the Star Cruiser as early as 1 o'clock and as late as 4 o'clock. Now my tip, of course, is arrive early. Don't be that 4 o'clock arrival. In fact, you might not even want to fly in that day. You might want to treat it like a regular cruise. Fly in the day before, stay at either an airport hotel or a Disney resort, and then go to the Star Cruiser the very next day. And yes, you want to be early. So we had talked to a crew member. They said, don't arrive before 1 o'clock because we're getting way too many people arriving around 11 or noon. They do not want people just hanging out. So we listened to them. We arrived at 1 o'clock and there was already a huge line. Totally regretted listening to that cast member. I really, really wish we would have arrived a lot sooner because it actually took us an hour and a half. That's right, you heard me, from when we arrived to actually get on board. To me, that is way too long. That is unnecessarily too long. I 100% wish that I would have shown up sooner, which is what my gut instinct was telling me to do, but the cast member said no. So you do want to arrive early. However, there were plenty of people arriving in costume, which is hugely awesome, by the way. So as soon as you arrive, you're already talking to other passengers, you know, what's your background story, what's your costume, and this is key. There were some people in their jeans and t-shirts that may have changed later, but tip, you want to arrive in costume because there's a sign that says Galactic Star Cruiser when you kind of get in that area, and it's a great place to take pictures in your costume. If you aren't in your costume, you are going to miss that one picture opportunity. So yes, try to arrive in costume if you can. Obviously, if you are flying in that day and you don't want to, you know, travel on the airplane in your Jedi robes, you can, of course, change as soon as you board on ship, because as soon as you get on the ship, the very first thing they show you is your stateroom, is your cabin. So you can easily, quickly change at that point and then move on to the rest of the activities. But again, that one picture opportunity is kind of cool. So yeah, arrive in your costume. Next tip is Batuu. Now I talked about this previously in my other video. I'm just gonna kind of re-say it here because now that I've done it, I 100% agree with what I previously said. So of course on day 2, you get an excursion to Batuu. You can arrive pretty much as early as you want, like 8 a.m., but you need to be back on the ship by 4. So a lot of people are thinking, oh my gosh, Hollywood Studios, I get to hang out from 8 to 4. Let's fill our day with droid building and lightsaber building, and we're gonna go do all these crazy things because we're in Hollywood Studios till 4 o'clock. If you do that, you will miss some opportunities and things on board. So our goal was to get to Batuu, do the 2 rides, right? Rise the Resistance, do the Falcon, maybe explore a little bit, and then get back on the ship. This is 100% what I suggest. So not only when you're on Batuu, there were a few missions that my kids definitely wanted to do. They were scanning stuff and hacking stuff and doing things per the data pad, which was great, did the 2 rides. We went back on the ship, had a quickie lunch, then we cooled down because Batuu is so hot. We had to de-sweat, change our clothes, and then we got ready for our photo opportunity, which we purposely booked knowing everyone else was at Batuu. So by doing this, we got some really cool pictures with no one else in the background. So that's just a little hint. And then by the time everyone else was coming back from Batuu all hot and sweaty, we were good to go. We were ready to just press on and do missions. So my advice is to plan a different Hollywood Studios day within your journey, within your trip, and do those lightsabers and droid things at that time. Don't wait to do it on your Batuu day, because again, what you're really paying for is to be on the Star Cruiser. There you go. Another thing I didn't realize were children, right? So of course this thing is family friendly. There are kids, right? I didn't realize exactly how many kids were going to be aboard the Star Cruiser. There were so many children and they were running around like crazy. So this is something to know, that if you are a parent, just note that your kid you might not see them for 2 days. At least I didn't see mine. They were going off, doing stuff, pressing buttons, pulling levers, scanning magic bands. It's all part of the fun and the missions on the app. But they just boom left. As soon as we got on the ship, Mom, can I leave? Mom, can I leave? Mom, can I explore? And they were gone. Didn't really see them except at dinner time, because they were able to look at the app and knew, okay, we have dinner at 5:30, which means meet Mom and Dad at 5:30. And there were a few excursion missions, right, that were family based that we all did together, and they were there for that. But pretty much it's a lot of button pushing, lever pulling, and magic band scanning, which is right up most children's alleys. However, I think it does help to have a child who is kind of self-reliable, right? Kind of independent, fully capable of using a data pad and a phone, exploring and running around. You know, my kids were here and they were there, and I remember trying to chase them and find them, and I don't even know where they went at some point. The husband and I were sitting in the atrium going, do you know where the kids are? No, do you? No. They're off with some character doing some mission. I mean, they were perfectly safe and in a safe place, but we didn't always know where our children was. And I don't think that makes me a bad parent. I think that just means they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were part of the experience. In fact, I had talked to other parents as well. They didn't know where their younglings were either. Just kind of a thing to know in advance as a parent. Next thing, if you are bringing a little, an extremely teeny weeny youngling, this is something you might want to know. Again, I have said this in my previous videos. I don't think this experience is good for the younger crowd. Kids under 7 do have a few things that they can do, but they're not really designed for them, right? They are not the ones who are looking at the data pad, running all around the ship, doing these missions. These younger kids really are kind of following their parents around. They are, and you as the parent are constantly watching them, which means you are unable as the parent to run about and do your mission. So again, if you have the younger kiddos, yes, you can bring them, but maybe if this is a once in a lifetime thing, maybe wait until a little bit older. But there was a family who was sitting across from us at the captain's table. If you are watching, hi. They had a little. She was adorable, right? For this family, leaving her at home was not an option. They opted to bring grandma. So grandma watched baby so mom and dad could go about the missions. Absolutely perfect situation for this family. Mom and dad got to do what they wanted to do. Grandma got to spend time with baby. Baby was always in safe hands. But this is something you should know. They do have cribs. So if you need a crib for baby, they do have that. They have height chairs as well. And in this lady's particular situation, she was having issues with diapers, needed a few more. They were able to secure her some youngling diapers. So just note that although most of the kids are of the older set, you know, age 7 and higher, there were quite a few toddlers. And one particular, this youngling, she wasn't quite a baby, but I mean, she was in the just learning how to walk crawl phase. So yeah, that's pretty babyish. So just note that that is happening as well. Water is so huge for me. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, I am constantly carrying around water bottles. However, water bottles aren't really in universe. They didn't really match my costume. And me walking around with this water bottle wasn't really easy when I'm either A, filming, or B, have a data pad in my hand. Where's the water bottle gonna go, right? Just note that aboard this ship, they have a special area for you to get water. Chilled water, uncold water, sparkling water with cups. So there was an area where you could just go, fill up, drink a little, throw it in the trash, or walk around with that cup for an hour or so, then throw it in the trash. or use that water to fill up your water bottle if you want to carry your water bottle with you. But just note, you are running around the ship like crazy. I was indeed getting sweaty and getting thirsty. So just note that they do have this area right there where you can fill up water or just drink from a cup. And I'm just gonna toss it out there. It's not in my notes. They do have a table area out filled with snacks. So if you are getting a little bit hungry, but you don't want to ruin dinner or lunch that's coming about, they do have, you know, fresh fruit, bananas, oranges. They had some goldfish crackers, some trail mix, a few other little kind of out of this world like snacks for you to have while waiting for your big meal. Next tip, I have put this in my previous video, but now that I've done it, 100% true. Like I have said, you are running around the ship like crazy. Now, I had thought this ship was going to be big. I thought it was going to be like a cruise ship, right? Because I knew we were sleeping on deck 7, so that's at least 7 decks that I'm going to be running up and down. No. The ship that you're actually running about is kind of tiny. There's only a few areas to really hang out in. So they have this giant atrium, right? Like a lobby. And then they have a few little stairs and little areas where you will do your missions. A few little secret rooms, some button pushing, some lever pulling. Don't want to give it away. But you are going up and down these stairs, up and down the hallway, up and down, through and out. Oh my goodness, constantly. Especially if you're a parent chasing younglings. If you are an older set and you just want to sit in the bar and play sabacc, you might not be running as much as I did. But I was constantly trying to figure out where my kids were, or I was trying to be a part of their story as much as I could to see what they were experiencing. Plus, I wanted to film it. So yes, comfy shoes is a must. I was going to bring my steel-toed boots. That was originally part of my costume, and at the last moment I did switch to Converse, to Chuck Taylors. I do have solid black everything Chuck Taylors. I got black laces. I just wore those. They looked like boots from afar, but so much comfier. Just a heads up. Same thing with your costume. I was gonna wear pretty elaborate things hanging off me. I was gonna wear my saber on my belt. Decided at the last minute not to do that and to just make everything kind of easy. As long as I can sit in it, run in it, climb stairs in it, I was good to go. I was really afraid of my saber kind of falling off or getting unhooked from my belt from all the moving around. So the saber didn't really follow me on a day-to-day basis. But just note that in advance, comfy is key. Now, I did not know this until a cast member told me this literally that morning. I was having issues with my data pad. I had to get a hold of a crew member from the Star Cruiser, from the 800 line, and he gave me a tip. And I never ever would have known this had he not told me this. So Austin, if you're watching, thank you. Without giving too much away, there is a final show on day 2. It's basically a show that sums everything up, right? So obviously we're talking Star Wars. Obviously there's going to be a struggle between good and evil, between light and dark, between the First Order and the Resistance, right? It's kind of obvious we are talking Star Wars here. So throughout your whole, 2-night experience and all the missions you're doing, it's a constant battle between those two things, right? First Order and Resistance. Well, there's a final show that sums that all up. And it happens around 9:30, 9:45. You do not want to miss this final show. Now, for most adults, that's not an issue. It's on your data pad. Of course, you're not going to miss it. You're scheduled to do it, of course. But you have children, perhaps, who go to bed early. I know I do. My kids are usually in bed by 8 o'clock. So we had to purposely keep them up and up and up to see this final experience. Had I not been told how special this final thing is, we could have easily been in bed by 8:30. Had we not have known. So, tip, try to stay up for that final thing. If you have younglings that you've brought with you that can't stay up, then perhaps mom and dad or whoever can switch off. But yeah, you don't want to miss that final show. Another thing I wish I would have known is I knew everything was happening on the data pad. I just assumed I would be invited on missions and doing these things on the data pad. What I didn't realize is you need to actually interact with the characters. There are specific characters. Some characters we know, some characters are new to the story. You want to follow them around the ship. You want to introduce yourself. You want to chat with them. You want them to get to know you because that helps push everything along as part of the missions, right? So I didn't realize this when we boarded. So I wasted probably a few hours not really realizing what the data pad was doing, what was going on, and not really interacting with the characters. And because you want to interact with these characters and follow them around and pick your side, you know, dark versus light, whatever, or maybe you're playing them both, it does help that your costume is kind of similar on all days. Because if you're one color one day, say you come in with this, you know, all brown outfit, and then all of a sudden you're in a purple outfit and all these things and you're changing and switching it up, the characters might not recognize you. So being in a similar outfit for both of those immersive days does kind of help. Part of my costume, I had a lizard monkey with me. She talks. So that kind of helped separate my costume from other people because I had my lizard monkey with me the entire time. Characters kind of remembered that. I also wore this black shawl thing that went around kind of like a cape. No one else was wearing something like that. So that also set me apart as being my own specific character. I saw plenty of other guests, other passengers constantly changing outfits. I'm not sure the characters always recognize them as being the same passenger. So yes, my big tip, follow the characters, talk to the characters, get involved with the characters, and help the characters out by kind of looking the same throughout your journey so that they can recognize you. Other situation, I talked about that a little bit earlier, is the photo opportunity. It's $99. 100% do it. We just recently got back our pictures, which I will show later. I don't want to give you guys too many spoilers, so I'm afraid to show too much here. Absolutely loved it. Some were great, some were not so great. Usually the not so great ones were due to kids smiling. Yes, I have kids who do not have perfect, flawless smiles at all given times. We had a lot of those, a lot of those smiles. I've been holding it for so long, I don't know what I look like anymore. A lot of those were in our pictures, unfortunately. But what I'm here to tell you is you 100% want to get that photo opportunity and try to schedule it when no one's on board, because we were able to go into different rooms or different areas of the ship because they weren't occupied by other passengers. So that totally helped us out. But if you don't want to do the photo opportunity or you want to take your own pictures, the best time to do this, again, the tip, is late at night when everyone else went to bed, right? Because the atrium is open pretty late. The gift shop is still open till 11 p.m. So if everyone goes to bed at 9 o'clock, that gives you 2 hours in this practically empty atrium to take pictures of yourself in your costume in kind of little nooks and crannies. The other good time to take pictures is first thing in the morning. So if you're thinking other passengers are either sleeping or getting their shower and getting ready for the day before their breakfast, you could be up and already taking pictures in your costume. So again, don't miss that photo opportunity. Again, $99. You do have to schedule it ahead of time or take your own photos in the evening or early morning. Next tip is, I didn't realize, of course you should if you put it all together, is you're not in your room that much. So debating on which type of cabin you should purchase should just be based on how many people you have. We were not in our cabin at all to be leisurely. We were literally there to sleep and to get ready for the day, and then we were gone. There were a few times I did come back, use the restroom, touch up on my makeup. That was it. There was no hanging out. There was no watching TV. There was no chilling in the room, drinking champagne, eating snacks. None of that happened. You are in the atrium. You are in these other rooms doing your missions. You are not hanging out in your room. So just note that also. All right, so the other thing on my list is to get a phone case. Not a phone case like a case for the phone, but like a way to carry your data pad like a pouch. I found this so helpful because you are taking that data pad with you everywhere. You are constantly on it. Sometimes you're on a mission where you have to push a button or pull a lever. It is completely inconvenient to constantly hold the data pad. So I'm so glad as part of my costume, I wore this kind of pouch. I'm sorry it's black, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but it's this pouch with pockets, right? And you clip it on, again, hard to see, with your belt. So it went over my belt loop and it hung out on my hip. So I was able to put some chapstick in here and my data pad in here along with a backup battery pack. Because you were on your data pad so much, having a backup battery or a way to charge your data pad is huge. So with this tied onto my belt as part of my costume, I was able to hold the phone when I couldn't carry it anymore, or to also hold the charger. So this is something you definitely want to look into if your outfit, your costume doesn't have pockets. So I wore one, my daughter wore one, the boys did not. The boys were wearing like cargo pants that had pockets on them, but this was super helpful for the ladies or the other people who don't have a bunch of pockets for their cell phones. The other thing I want to mention is, obviously for a living, I am a vlogger. This is what I do for a living, is make these videos. So I didn't really have much of a choice. I was filming the entire time. My tip is if you are someone who doesn't do this for a living, try to stay off your camera. Try to just focus on the missions and use your phone. Take a few pictures, of course. I'm not telling you not to do that. But there were people around trying to film and do all these things, and it's hard. My point is it's hard. It's hard to be filming everything, right? I'm filming everything. I'm catching everything the characters are doing. Meanwhile, I'm also over here on my phone trying to, okay, the mission, okay, so-and-so's texting me, okay, what? And I'm filming. It's difficult to do it both with two different things in your hand. That's all I'm basically saying. So obviously, if you're like me and this is what you do for a living, we don't have a choice. We're multitasking, right? For those of you who are just doing this for you, try to just stick to the missions, because I guarantee you are going to enjoy it a lot more. You don't need to film everything if this is not what you do for a living, because it was difficult. I was in a particular mission that required a lot of button pressing and paying attention and, you know, shooting missiles. And I'm trying to film so that you guys could see what I'm doing. At the meantime, I'm trying to do this, and it... Save yourself the hassle, guys. If you don't have to film and take all those pictures, try not to. Try to be present in what's happening with the missions with the data pad. My final tip is a bit of a bummer, but I'm hoping it helps someone out. Now, of course, when this all came about, everyone was talking about the captain's table. You have to get the captain's table. If you don't get the captain's table, your trip is ruined. The captain's table is an elite table that happens at dinner that only houses 11 people. So of course, when I booked our Star Cruiser, I was one of the first people to book. I got the captain's table. I purposely booked the captain's table on day one for my son because it was his birthday. So why not do the captain's table on his birthday? They didn't really tell us exactly what the captain's table was. I just knew it only seated 11 people. So it came time for dinner, captain's table, woohoo, we're gonna eat with the captain. No. We never ate with the captain. The captain was never there. She never sat down at the table one time. Kind of disappointing. Come find out, I talked to the server. The captain's table is really just a place for you to get in a couple extra appetizers that not everyone else gets. And they do like a champagne toast, like a cheers, right? All things I didn't have to have, especially since I can't eat the appetizers anyway, and I don't really drink champagne. I wanted to eat with the captain. I wanted to sit with the captain and talk to the captain while eating. Apparently this is not a thing. So just note that if you can't get the captain's table, no sweat. However, without giving too much away, if I had the choice between captain's table on night 1 or captain's table on night 2, I would 100% do captain's table on night 2, because what happened to the captain's table on night 2, if it's the same on my cruise as it is on your cruise, I would have much preferred to be at the captain's table on night 2. So that's my little hidden tip for you guys right there. If you absolutely want to do the captain's table, try for day too if you can. But anyway, guys, this video, sorry, I got a little lengthy. Again, 15 things. I hope this helped you out. Again, some of the stuff I knew in advance I wanted to reiterate because it 100% became true. And then there's little things like you should wear a watch that I didn't realize or know about till I actually got there. Same thing with the gift shops closing early and, you know, the final show and all that good stuff. So just note that this is a fully immersive experience. There is a story, a plot going on behind the scenes. So as much as you could not pay attention, sit in the bar all day, hang out in your room and be completely oblivious to what's going on, the whole point of this particular cruise is to be involved as much as you can. Do the missions, talk to the characters, be present. There were times where I just sat in the atrium. I didn't want to go running up and down the stairs, pressing a bunch of buttons. I just sat in the atrium and hung out, and I witnessed things just sitting there that I never would have witnessed if I was off doing missions. So it's okay to chill back and just kind of hang out, absolutely, but you want to be in the middle of it. You want to be in the thick of it. So if you are someone who is not super chatty and you're not super, you know, outgoing and willing to talk to characters, just note that just kind of sitting there and hanging out, you are still witnessing things. But obviously, if you can put the two together, you are going to make the most of this experience. And in case you want to know, yes, my kids had a blast. They were sweaty, they were gross, they were happy, and we are still talking about this trip. So yeah, and there were tears when the cruise was over. It's kind of a hard thing to do and be excited about, and then all of a sudden you do it and it's amazing, and then whoop, it's over. So yeah, there are kind of some sad tears that may or may not happen, so just be prepared for that. But anyway, guys, I hope this video helped you out. I hope it, you know, kind of reiterated a few things that maybe you were thinking in your head or you read about from another place to help you plan to make the most out of your Star Cruiser experience. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If the subscribe button is red, please click it, turn it gray, hit the bell icon for notifications, like this video, and comment. What if you've already done the Star Cruiser, what would you also add to the list? Because I'm sure there's more than 15. These are just the things I quickly wrote down. I'm sure there's more, and I'm sure more will come out as my vlogs and spoilers and non-spoiler footage of the actual cruise comes out. You guys may learn a few things as well. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, mahalo for watching. Nina out.